Hi, I'm Erin with Homeschool Connections, and we're here today with Inshal Chenet. Inshal, good to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad I could be here.
Yeah, well, you teach courses for Homeschool Connections. Tell us about that.
Yes, I teach both high schoolers and middle schoolers, primarily science classes. Right now, I
Awesome.
have a basic chemistry class. I have a class on the way things work, and I have a medieval science class.
What was the last one?
Medieval science.
Medieval science. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Well, I know chemistry. I know what that's about, but the way things work and medieval science, I'm not familiar with those. Tell me a little bit about the way things work. That sounds like a really fun class.
So the way things works class is really going through and looking at everyday objects that are around all the time, whether it's simple gears, keys, locks, pulleys, all these things that we see around us, and actually figuring out how these things work and understanding what's going on.
Oh, fun. That's what age group? Is it both middle school?
It's a middle school course.
That's middle school?
It's great for them because it gets out of this, oh, technology is just this magical thing that does stuff, and actually you have an understanding of what's going on.
Oh, I love it. So it's a high interest course. It's a science course, kind of a physics course, isn't it?
Yeah, it has some physics in it and engineering. So
what a great introduction to science. Love it. Okay, so tell me about this medieval course. That also sounds really fascinating.
The medieval history course is an idea of combining history and science together. Because oftentimes we read about scientists, and usually it's like after the Enlightenment and after the scientific revolution, here's a couple people, but we don't really focus and get into the ideas that people had before them. And so we're going through all these different scientific concepts that the medievals had and seeing in what ways their ideas made sense, in what ways their ideas are true or false or didn't make sense. And it's really fun because the way the medievals did science was so based off of everyday observations that you can look out and be like, oh, I guess I could see why someone would think that, and learned in detail what's actually going on.
So I would guess there are some funny things in there that they thought that really weren't true.
Oh, yes. I mean, the idea that the seasons are very different in different parts of the world wasn't really a thing for them. So in the wintertime, where do birds go? They're not hiding in the trees. They're not digging in the ground.
Okay.
So they assumed they must be under the ice in lakes.
Oh, how funny. Oh, that's another really high interest course. Is this for middle school and high school also?
This one is for high school.
This one's for high school? I love it. So you could take the one in middle school and then this one in high school. Yeah. I love high interest courses like this because it gets kids really excited about the sciences and engineering and all of the pieces and parts of STEM. So that's awesome. Tell us a little bit about you and who you are. For someone watching and they're like, ooh, those classes sound good. And they want to know a little bit more about who you are. Who are you?
I live in Ann Arbor, Michigan. With my wife, and I have two twins who are about 1.5 years old, a boy and a girl.
Oh, how fun. I bet that's exciting around the holidays.
It's the funnest thing, especially the way they're able to fight and interact with each other, and it's amazing just seeing that kind of diversity in children so early.
That's right.
And we live out in the country. We have a cow and
how fun.
Yeah, no, and the kids love the animals.
Oh, I bet. My kids also we didn't have cows. We did have chickens and milk goats.
Ooh, yeah,
and they are real, and some people watching, they go, yeah, we have that too. Or others might say, I don't think I'd ever have chickens, but that's okay. They're fun. Chickens are fun and great eggs, but I love that you're here teaching. And how long have you been teaching here at Homeschool Connection?
This is my second year teaching for Homeschool Connection. I've been teaching a few years before that for other groups, but I'm loving Homeschool Connection. Awesome. And tell me a little bit about where you come from then. What's your background to be teaching these really awesome subjects? So I went to college at Wyoming Catholic College out in the middle of nowhere. And one thing that I loved about their science program is their science and math program was really about understanding things in a holistic way. We tend to turn science and math into a bunch of, let's just memorize a bunch of numbers and formulas and just stuff a bunch of that into our head.
Right.
And we don't have anything we can see it on. We don't have anything we can kind of link it to. And it zaps a lot of the enjoyment out of us.
Yeah, absolutely. So hence your interest in creating these super fun, high interest, applicable, they apply to life kinds of courses. Well, I, for one, am really glad that you're here.
Thank you.
And if you are watching this and you're interested in the courses that Mr. Chenet has, these are listed in the catalog, and that can be found at Homeschool Connections on the website. And also, if you want to get a hold of Inshal Chenet and get some questions answered about a specific course, they can do that through Homeschool Connections email. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
So homeschoolconnections@gmail.com and say, hey, I'd like to talk to Mr. Chenet. And we'll make it happen. We'll connect you both. So great to have you here. Anything else you want to leave everyone with?
Last thing that I want to say is, if you have a student or you are a student who's interested in looking at science in a very kind of grounded way with the things around you and around all of us, then I would love to see you in one of my courses.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Fabulous. Again, thank you for being here. Thank you for spending time with us so we could hear about the courses and a little bit more about you. And thank you for watching. We hope to see you in class.